Franchise Sports Media!
What's going on, fight fans? Thank you guys for tuning in to another episode of the main event right here on Franchise Sports Media. I'm your host, Kalani, and man, oh man, did we start off 2025 with a banger at the Intuit Dome down in Southern California. Shout out to everybody down there on the recovery from the fires. They brought the heat this Saturday, though, didn't they? From the visuals inside, the smoke coming down, the lights around the arena, the atmosphere, how the crowd seemed to be hovering over the cage, and then the fights inside the octagon. Woo-hoo-wee! Let's jump into it right now. Before everything went down at UFC 311, we had some scary news pop up. Initially, Islam Makhachev was defending his lightweight title against Arman Tsarukyan. This is going to be a rematch. They fought earlier. Tsarukyan was young in his UFC career at that particular point in time. So it was going to be like, okay, let's see if he's improved enough to give the champ a run for his money. Ow, my back, my neck, and my back. He went and pulled an Ezel from Friday, pulled out because he had a back issue. We'll jump into that afterwards. But lo and behold, Moicano from Brazil said, I'll step up. I'll be your huckleberry. He comes in on the last minute and takes on Islam Makhachev. He was already scheduled to fight Benelli Dariush on the card, so he was already in fight shape, already had a camp. But you're taking on the champ. You're taking on the pound-for-pound #1 fighter on the roster on a day's notice. That is an icy hill with skates on you trying to climb. But nonetheless, you got to get down. Islam Makhachev made easy work of him, though. Submission in the first round. And look, you got to give credit to Islam. He's taking on Alex Volkanovski and now Moicano on short notice replacements. And guess what? He did what he had to do as a champion. He went in and said, listen, I'm the champion. I'm supposed to be the best. I will fight anybody on this roster anytime. Bring them in there. The guys who are coming in, when you say, hey, on short notice, they shouldn't do much against the champion, he makes sure to shows that. Knocks out Volkanovski, first one to ever do that. Now submits Moicano, makes it look easy. And you know what? Hats off to him for that, because sometimes when you replace a fight, you might actually be tempted to not take any chances and be overly aggressive because it's a new opponent. What if they catch you with something? Ooh, what if I get clipped? What if this guy catches me in a submission? What if I go in overconfident and I get snubbed? Kind of like Luke Rocco when he took on Michael Bisping. Bing, 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 new champion. We don't want that. Islam said, nope, I'm good. I'm going to go ahead and hit him with the Darce chokes, make him tap. And now he's talking about moving on and doing other big things. We'll jump into that afterwards. But for Moicano, you really can't knock him here. He's coming in at the last second, taking on the best in the UFC. And shout out to him for being willing to take it. But Islam Makhachev, I mean, this dude is unworldly. And we talked about it before. He is literally everyone's toughest opponent. Whoever he faces, he is that fighter's toughest opponent. So for Islam, he just continues to build his resume. Now, sets a UFC record, 4 successful defenses of the lightweight championship, most in the division's history, and now 15 straight victories inside the octagon, one shy of tying the great Anderson Silva, the Spider. So Islam is just continuing to grow his legacy, become one of the all-time greats, putting his name up there, potentially when it's all said and done, on a Mount Rushmore of greatest UFC fighters of all time. Shout out to him for being a true professional, a champion, and going out there and giving people a show. Because again, last-minute replacement, this isn't who the fans bought tickets for. This isn't who the people tune in for the pay-per-view to see. But nonetheless, the champion goes out there and says, hey, this isn't the matchup you guys wanted. It is what it is. I'm going to take this guy out, do what I need to do, and wata! Woo-wee! But if we jump into the co-main event, and it ties into the main event slightly, Merab Delavushi, I hope I said the name right. Excuse me for butchering it, okay? I went to public school in the inner city. But Merab successfully defends the title, and he takes the O in Umar Nurmagomedov. Woo-hoo-wee! I believe there was a certain show on Franchise Sports Media, a certain host on Franchise Sports Media, who actually called out and said, well, if Merab's to win, this is what he needs to do. He needs to go ahead and push the pace, put on the pressure, and he needs to make sure Umar's the one backing up. He needs to go up, down, mixing it up. Throw some leg kicks. Didn't throw as many as I thought he would, but throwing some kicks, throwing some jabs, 1-2 up high, but then go for the takedowns. Put the wrestler on his back. And if it doesn't work on the ground, because Umar's such a good wrestler himself and the submission game is strong, and if you can't get it, disengage and back up. And boy, Merab went to Sizzler. He went to town and got the decision victory over Umar Nurmagomedov. Now listen, for Umar, the younger cousin of Khabib Nurmagomedov, the coach now, former undefeated lightweight champion himself, he did break his hand at the end of the first round. Didn't say anything to his coach. His coach, Javier Mendez, even said, hey, listen, had we known he broke his hand and he said something, we would have instructed him to throw more kicks. Umar does this unique front kick that I think is an effective weapon. It's a front high kick to the upper chest and head area that he throws almost like he's leaning a little bit. I can't do it here because of the confined space, but he throws that front kick out. And what's interesting about that is, and I'm not doing this intentionally, but if you tie it into a former Irish rival of this camp who would throw front body kicks to your belly and whip it out there, it keeps your opponent at bay, keeps them at a distance so that they can't just lunge in, and it's a head kick. So you don't want to going in guns blazing and get caught coming in, and next thing you know, you end up looking like Vitor Belfort against Anderson Silva or Randy Couture against Lyoto Machida, front kick to the face, night. No. It was working for him at first. But Merab was so good at countering, diving in and out, but also applying the pressure and constantly keeping them backing up. We said on this show before, there is something about any fight, boxing or MMA, when you have your opponent constantly backing up, constantly on the defense, constantly moving, it drains on their adrenaline and on their energy and on their cardio. Because not only are they trying to hit you with strikes and event takedowns, they're constantly thinking, they're constantly moving. They can never relax and find their footing. The anxiety, overthinking, what's the next move? Wait, what's this guy going to come on with? X, Y, and Z, so many other things that go into it. It allows for your opponent to now get away from their game plan and fall right into the traps that you're laying. And Merab was able to do that. 7 successful takedown defenses. I believe he went for like 13 or 14 overall. Got 7 of them. And some of them was literally just, let me get the takedown and back up off this dude. And what's interesting, we've seen in the past, if I could take someone down who doesn't get taken down, their mental psyche now is, wait a minute, he did what to me? And that messes with you because now you're thinking, I'm not the one that gets taken down. I put people down. Well, now I'm being taken down. That's another wrinkle I have to worry about in this fight. Wait a minute. Some Rob's constantly putting pressure on me. I can't stop. I can't move. My hand is hurting me. Oh, wait, the front kick, yeah, it was working, but it's not really because he keeps freaking moving on me, and I can't really throw my hand at him because it's broken. Now he's taking me to the ground. Okay, now I got to worry about that. Oh, he's going to come in for a takedown. Let me stop that. Oh, wait, 1-2 to the head, X, Y, and Z. Merab put on a miraculous performance. Miraculous. I believe he might have got his idea from the main event right here on Franchise Sports. You're welcome, Merab. But in all seriousness, come the 5th round, Merab still looked fresh. Still looked like he could go another 25 minutes. And this is the guy who felt that he was being disrespected. He was being rushed into this fight. The UFC really wanted Umar to be the champion. And he felt like, okay, I beat Sugar Sean O'Malley. I've done some things. Even Dana White said in the post-fight press conference, hey, we have a goofy relationship. Merab feel like, okay, you're just trying to get me off the title because you don't want me to be the face of it. But now he's gone out there, got this victory. He moves to 19-4. And for Merab, you really have to start looking at him and say, oh, wait a minute now. This dude is on to something, and he's doing some pretty spectacular things with his career and who he's gone out there and defeated. Got Umar Nurmagomedov, got Sean O'Malley, but he also has Henry Cejudo, Peter Yan, Jose Aldo, and Marlon Morales. That is future Hall of Famers. Outside of Morales, future Hall of Famers, former champions, all-time greats in that division. Merab's beating them all. And he's pretty much made it look easy at times. We'll talk about what's next for him possibly afterwards, but shout out to him on that amazing performance for what he was able to go out there and do and take on such an incredible fighter in Umar. And I'm pretty sure we're going to see these guys fight again some point down the road, and it'll be fun to watch those guys go at it again to see what changes happen. But shout out to both of the champions going in there and retaining their titles. Yuri Prochazka versus Jamal Hill. What a banger this was at 205. But what I love about Yuri, right? His warrior-like mentality. It's infectious for everyone around. You really don't see no one bashing this dude. Yeah, I might be a fan of this fighter or that guy, but Yuri's freaking awesome. And, he cut off his hair because he was supporting a young lady who's battling cancer right now. Shout out to her. Please get through that and win that battle. But he goes out there and he does this shoot. First off, when he's coming into the cage, you see Jamal Hill do what he did against Alex Pereira. He's standing right there at the entrance waiting for him. Come on in here. Come on in here. Let's go. Yuri's standing there looking out, still got his jacket on. Then when they get in, they're doing the introductions. Yuri just standing there, cold, dead stare assassin, like middle of the octagon, looking dead into the soul of Jamal Hill. Jamal was game like, hey, I ain't no punk. I ain't backing down. We're going to go at it right back. And that just builds the energy for the anticipation. And boy, did these two deliver. Now, granted, neither one of these guys are fans of defense, which one, hey, makes for a great fight. I don't know how long the careers can be fighting like that, but it makes for a great fight. They really took the game, rock 'em, sock 'em, and they said, oh, we can do the real life version of this. Pow, pow, pow. It was awesome to see these two battle it out. While you can say, look, this was a great fight, but clearly with some of their defensive deficiencies, power, X, Y, and Z, Pereira still beats either one of them in a rematch, but it does make it fun to build up to it. These guys stood toe-to-toe and just clobbered one another. Yuri Prochazka gets the third round KO, TKO, and it's one of those where Jamal Hill loses, but I feel like he won. One thing about Jamal Hill, he rubbed a lot of people the wrong way when he came up with excuses on why he lost to Alex Pereira. Oh, he got lucky. I didn't see it. X, Y, I hit him low, but I thought the ref was going to stop it, so I mentally checked out X, Y, and Z. And it's just one of those where you say, look, man, when you lose, just face the music, move on. Fans will forgive you. Again, outside of John Jones and a couple other fighters, we've seen everyone lose. So it's not unrealistic for us to come back around and cheer for you coming off of a loss. But when you start making excuses for it, it becomes a tough thing. It becomes a tough pill to swallow. Nonetheless, these guys went at it. After the fight, Yuri Prochazka called for a trilogy with Alex Pereira. Was funny. There's a video, Alex Pereira standing up, yelling in Portuguese, hey, kids, stop fighting each other before dad takes off his belt. So that was fun to see. Poatan just loving his new fame and celebrityism and what's going on there. So we'll probably see that somewhere down the road. Couple other fights on here, RDR defeated Kevin Holland's first round submission. No surprise there. And Almeida went on 22-3, first round knockout in the heavyweight division. Hey, possible future heavyweight contender right here. So let's talk about what could be next. UFC 311 is over with. Let's get into what's next. For Islam Makhachev, what do you do? Right? You're the champion. I've defeated the main guys here at 155. What's next? Well, he's talked about possibly rematching Charles Oliveira. If some Irish fighter wants to come on back, hey, buddy, I'm here for you. But hey, I'll move up to welterweight. I'll move up to middleweight and take on DDP. Or I'll even move up to light heavyweight. I'll put an extra shirt on the scale and take on Alex Pereira. Now, that might be a bit much. But for Islam Makhachev, he is a big guy. He may not be the tallest 155er, but he is a big guy. I think at 170, at welterweight, he could be another monster there, especially if Bilal Muhammad is still the champion. That's more of a realistic opponent for him. I know Leon Edwards, when he was the champion, that was the matchup we were talking about. That, I do believe, could be a good one on if he moves up to 170. Now, Bilal has to defeat Shavkat Romanovich to retain the title. And if he does that, champ status for Islam Makhachev. So that'd be awesome if those two can go at it and knock it out and everything like that. So, for Islam, he has big dreams and aspirations. Unlike his mentor, coach, and well, I already said mentor, Habib, it doesn't sound like he's ready to retire anytime soon. I don't know if there's a fight from someone coming up from 145 to do it. I doubt he'll want to do a trilogy against Alexander Volkanovski, despite the first one being very easily competitive, where it could have went the other way. If we look at someone like... If we also look at another champion on the card, if we look at what's next for Merab, we say, okay, Merab, we see who you defeated already. Do you rematch Peter Yan? Because that was a competitive fight. That would be interesting for the fans. Do you rematch Sugar Sean O'Malley? Okay, you beat him in September. Let's see how O'Malley responds to that defeat and comes back. We've seen him lose before, bounce back to become champion. Can Merab do it the second time against Sugar Sean? Or do we see a potential super fight? Does Merab say, hey, I'll move up to 145 and I'll take on Volkanovski. I'll take on some of the guys up there. He's not going to take on his countryman, Ilia Topuria, but if Ilia Topuria moves up to take on Islam, wow, what a banger that would be. Hey, 145 is open. Merab can move up. I don't know, but then his partner, Aljamain Sterling, is up there, so we'll see. But Merab has a lot of great options. He's in a great position right now to continue to etch out his legacy in the UFC. 12 straight wins, beat all these former future Hall of Famers and former champions. Merab is definitely somebody who's saying, hey, I'm here now. This is my time. I'm the new king of the mountain. It is going to be fun and exciting to see what is next and what these guys can continue to do in their careers going forward. So keep an eye out for that, and be sure to tune into the main event for any updates on that particular notice on what's going on there. For Yuri Prochazka, again, he called for the trilogy with Pereira. That'd be a lot of fun. I think that seems like the logical matchup to make, especially if Pereira gets past Ankalaev. If he gets past that, unless he plans on moving up to heavyweight, which I think he should do, then yeah, Prochazka going up and getting the title shot next, that'll be a fun one. Now, I jumped up to light heavyweight. Let me come on back down real quick. This fight wasn't on the card, but it's got me so excited. I cannot wait. Charles Oliveira against Max Holloway, 10 toes down. Let's go, baby. Let's go. Do Bronx versus Bless, Brazil, Hawaii, International Fight Week. Yes, please. Yes. So Charles said, hey, listen, if Sarukian is the next and Islam wants to wait, I don't want to wait till October to fight him. I want to fight now. If Max wants to do it and he's moved to 155 permanently, let's do it for the BMF title. The bad mother shut your mouth. But I'm talking about Max. Max said, International Fight Week, brother? Let's go, baby. Las Vegas, the Ninth Island. We welcome two of the most fan favorite, most exciting fighters to watch. They get a rematch. They fought at 145. Oliveira suffered an injury during that fight, so we didn't get this full notice of it. But both of these guys have been phenomenal in their careers going forward. Former lightweight champion Oliveira, former featherweight champion Holloway, BMF title on the line, International Fight Week. Let's go. We are in it to win it, baby. The main event, Franchise Sports Media will be there talking to these guys if possible, going over it. It is going to be amazing. If that fight could happen, please, Uncle Dana, please give us that particular matchup. In the world of boxing now, let's switch it over to the ring for a real quick as we wrap up the show here on the main event. If we look at the world of boxing, Devin Haney drops his lawsuit against Ryan Garcia. Kudos to him. Wasn't a good look. But now they're saying, hey, we going to go at it. Just not right away. They are going to be on the same card fighting each other. Ryan Garcia is supposed to take on Isaac Cruz. My man, you taking on the Pitbull? Shout out to you, Ryan Garcia. Hey, we'd love to have you back on the main event like we did last year at Radio Bro. Come holler at us one time. We'd love to have you back on the show. Devin Haney's also going to be on the card as well. They both get a win. They go ahead and face each other later on. Garcia, Haney, 147. That's going to be a spectacular matchup between those two. But trust me, Garcia is going to have his mouth full with leftovers on the side with the Pitbull standing across him first. But if these two can go ahead and go at it, look, I don't even care if they lose or if one of them loses. This rematch needs to happen. This is what boxing needs. UFC will give you the fights that you need. Boxing, it takes a little while for them to come around. But if we can get Garcia and Haney too in 2025, that is what's going to help boxing keep that buzz and energy going for this particular rivalry. So we're excited to know that that's a possibility and that these two are going to be on the card. I would love it if boxing did more of these cards where you put more bigger names on the cards with each other as opposed to trying to do one by one. I understand, you want more money, you want it for yourself, but for the fight fans, we're spending our money to watch this. Guess what? We kind of want to watch a card where we know most of the fighters. Not, wait, who's this guy? Who's that? Where are they from? Oh, okay. But if that could happen, sweet. That's in the world of boxing. And that is going to be amazing. And that's a fun one. We got some other matches coming up, but right now, nothing's really for certain for sure. But if we could switch over for a few moments, bear with me, please. Bear with me. If we could switch over, stay in the world of combat sports, but let's go to the entertainment side. WWE. It's on Netflix. SmackDown's still on USA, but it's on Netflix. It's been a fantastic run so far. The Royal Rumble is coming up in February. WrestleMania is going to be in our backyard right here at Allegiant Stadium for WrestleMania 40. It's going to be amazing to see. Think about what we could potentially see on one card. It's 2 nights, but on one card. Roman Reigns, put the ones up. The Rock, if you smell. John Cena, I don't know if you're going to be able to see him and whatnot, but he's supposed to be there. CM Punk, the best in the world. Jey Uso, yeet. Seth Rollins, Kevin Owens, Cody Rhodes. Oh, Rhea Ripley, Mommy's going to be in the house. the amount of stars we have here coming to the desert, leading into this, guys, I understand that we're in the combat sports, it's entertainment, but goddamn, if you can't get into the world of professional wrestling and what WWE is doing under the tutelage of Triple H right now, woo-wee, it is fun. Oh, and I didn't even mention Zero Mero. Pantera's in there? What? It is amazing with the Royal Rumble coming up. Returns, appearances, debuts. Guys, it is going to be amazing. It is going to be fun. We're going to talk about it more next week and recap it afterwards, but it is going to be a lot of fun. And oh yeah, Pat McAfee's going to be on commentary. How is that not fun in Indianapolis when he returns home? It is going to be fantastic, and it will be all right here on the main event. Folks, thank you for tuning in to another episode of the main event. I've been your host, Kalani. This is the Franchise Sports. Be sure to follow Franchise Sports Media on all social media platforms. Be sure to like, share, and subscribe. If you got any questions, comments, or complaints, be sure to leave them in the comments, and I'll get back to them as soon as I can. Till next time, fight fans. Peace.